Why, good evening, YouTube. It is Beth, and this is week 40. Today I am 40 weeks and almost 6 days pregnant. Still pregnant. It's Friday, July 1st, just about July 2nd. It's about quarter of midnight, and I have some energy, so I figured I'd make a video. I've had 3 doctor's appointments in a row since my last video. They had me come in Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. On Wednesday they did a sonogram, and it was really good news. She is estimated to weigh 7 pounds and 6 ounces, which is a lot considering measuring at 36 weeks. So it has nothing to do with the baby, it's just the way I carry. But she's big. She's healthy, everything's fine, I have enough fluid, she's moving. It was cute on the sonogram they showed her, and she was practicing her breathing. So you could see her little lungs moving. It was adorable. It explains all the hiccups, 'cause she gets hiccups still. Every day, every other day. She gets a lot, and they last for a long time. And it's hard to sleep when she has them, but it's good because it means that her lungs are getting ready. So the stress test was a little bit different than I thought it was going to be. They took 2 monitors, 2 kind of belt things with little plastic round pieces attached to them. One was to monitor heart, one was to monitor her movement, and it printed out a sheet with, you know, the little lines. And she did really good. She moved a lot. She's very active, so that's nice. The doctor said it was perfect, and that was a relief. So that appointment on Wednesday was really good. I was happy about it. Tuesday they had me come back to try to schedule the induction. So I drove from the city where I live to a city about 20-25 minutes away for them to tell me that the hospital is overbooked because of the holiday, and they don't know whether or not they're going to be able to induce me on Tuesday. They want to induce me on Tuesday, or they would have induced me today, Friday, but because of the holiday, there's a backup in scheduling, and they don't know. So they took a urine sample, and that was pretty much it. Today I had an appointment, another urine sample, it was fine, another stress test, again it was fine. She actually moved so much she kicked one of the monitors right off my belly, so it was funny. And it didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take. It was about 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour. I waited in the waiting room longer than I waited in the stress test room. After the stress test, I had the meeting with the doctor, and it was a different doctor than I normally see. His name is Dr. Ali. My regular doctor is going to be on vacation, but Dr. Ali is going to be on call, and he's going to try to induce me on Tuesday, like I said, if the hospital will cooperate. If not, it'll definitely be Wednesday. But he checked me, and I'm still only a centimeter. I've been a centimeter for 2 or 3 weeks, no progress at all. 4th of July is kind of messing things up right now for me. I'm patriotic, I love my country. I wish my gynecologist's office was open on the holiday, but they're not. So I have to go to the hospital to get a stress test done on Monday, and then maybe get induced Tuesday. Hopefully someone will go into labor before then, and they'll have a spot for me and not be overbooked anymore. But I do have to go to the hospital for the stress test. And then I'll be induced on the 5th or the 6th. So I have an end date, which is nice, but I just wish it was sooner. If I had to do it over again, I would have worked up until my due date. And I recommend that if you can, if it's at all possible, because I feel like I'm wasting my maternity leave sitting in this apartment waiting for the baby to come. With way too much time on my hands, and having a lot of extra time on my hands, I've been kind of thinking about things that I have no business thinking about, and now I've built it up in my mind, and she's gonna have a cross eye and a weird Gorbachev birthmark on her face. Stopped working on the 21st, and I'm bored. I don't have a lot to do. Her room is ready, the house is ready, everything is as good as it's gonna get. This is it, we're ready for her. And there's nothing to do but sit around and wait. So far, I've spent my maternity leave watching The Sopranos box set, one right after the other. So, nothing says maternity leave like watching The Sopranos marathon style. I'm not having any urges to cook or bake or even really nesting anymore. I want to keep the house neat, it's clean. I want to keep it that way, but I'm not trying to go nuts painting stuff and dusting and moving things around anymore. Although last week I did clean my closet out at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And Jack didn't love that because he was afraid I was going to go into labor and the house was going to be trashed, but I put it all back together and clearly no labor yet. The other day on my Facebook, I asked for labor induction techniques because I'm not in work and I'm overdue and I'm bored and want this baby to come out. And there was a bunch of responses from things like prune juice to bumpy car rides to spicy Chinese food to lots of sex to long walks, the bouncy ball, castor oil, laxatives. So I've tried all of it. I didn't do the castor oil till today. I did it at 8:30. It's just about midnight now. And I did the 4 tablespoons of castor oil combined with some orange juice. It was pretty nasty. It was pretty nasty. So far nothing. But I don't know. At this point, if it does work, I don't know if it's working because it works or if it'll work because I'm overdue and I was gonna go into labor anyway, or if it's not gonna work at all. The other thing I wanted to say is 2 of the girls that I've been following for months and months and months haven't been updating, and hopefully they're in the hospital. Ruth and Katie, hopefully they're having their babies. That's so exciting for you guys. It's awesome. Maybe it'll be my turn next. I don't know. Hopefully this will be my last video. Maybe the castor oil will work and I'll go into labor tonight. Maybe not, but 40 weeks, 6 days pregnant. I don't know. I can't wait for this to be over. They say it'll be worth it in the end. Now a belly shot, and I will see you next time with a labor and delivery story. Bye-bye everybody, bye-bye!